Hey there, Boots Owen here. I have in front of me a selection of ephemera, I guess is what I would call it, relating to a Zanussi Amie washing machine. I presume the machine looked something like this, and we'll go through it a bit. What I've done is I've recorded the tape onto audio, so that will be played at the end of the video if you want to listen to it. These came to me from a guy called Andy Reynolds. Have a look at Andy's channel if you would. I'll put a link to it over here perhaps. Andy, I think, picked up this washing machine because it had been left out for scrap. I'm going on a limb there, and I suspect if you look at the comments below, Andy might comment and say where the machine came from. But if I recall the story correctly, the machine was in very good order, but surplus to requirements. You know, it is old, and it may have been broken, but it didn't come up that he needed to use it or to use any parts from it. And when he went to clear out his workshop or his storage area, this was inside the machine, wrapped up very neatly, along with the hoses and whatnot that came with it. It's worth our while, we think, Andy gave them to me to do this, to look through the catalogue or the manual and the guide, and to record the tape, put it on the internet, and it may be of interest to somebody. So we'll take a closer look at these things today. What I'm going to do is record the tape and play that over as I flick through these various manuals. The Amie is a 1083, the tape is for the 1083, this is the manual for the 1083, this is a manual for a FL1083 and 1012, another Zanussi washing machine, and this is a home laundry guidebook, I guess you might call it. I'll go through them page by page and then I'll zoom in a bit more detail. The tape's quite long, so it'll give us time to do that.
Zanussi, the appliance of science.
This cassette contains audio instructions on the operation of the Zanussi FL1083 Amie washing machine. Part 1. General Introduction. Hello, my name is Jane Rossington. First of all, let me congratulate you on purchasing the Zanussi Amie washing machine. The FL1083 is the result of many years of careful research and development into manufacturing an advanced washing machine that is a little different from the rest. When Zanussi set out to design this appliance, the main criteria was to manufacture a technically advanced washing machine that was extremely user-friendly. This has been achieved by removing all unnecessary user controls and simplifying those that remain so that the machine could be used by anyone, including the visually handicapped and the blind. This instruction tape has been produced in order to fulfill two roles. The first is as an alternative to the printed instruction manual for those who are visually handicapped or blind, while the second is intended for those who prefer to listen to instructions rather than reading them. When using the tape, we recommend that you should place your cassette player on the work surface near your washing machine. This will allow you to familiarise yourself with the appliance's controls as the tape is playing. For ease of use, the complete instruction program has been recorded on both sides of the cassette. You may find it necessary on occasions to either pause or stop and rewind the cassette so as to clarify various sections of the tape. This has been made easier by dividing the taped instructions into 7 sections, each of which is preempted by an audio tone that sounds like this. These tones have been provided to make it easier for you to access various sections of the tape on cassette players which have a cue and review facility. For example, if you need to know how to clean the detergent drawer or the water drain filter, this can be found immediately after the 7th audio tone. If you experience any problems with arranging to have your new appliance installed, or you require additional information on the machine's operation, you should contact the retailer from where the machine was purchased. Alternatively, telephone 0635 521 313 and ask for Zanussi Customer Services Department, who will be happy to help you. If you have a visual handicap, Zanussi will arrange to send you a special large print program guide. For the blind, Zanussi have developed a Braille program guide and Selector dial overlay which fixes over the front of the program Selector dial. To obtain either the Zanussi large print or Braille program guide and dial overlay kit, simply telephone the Zanussi Customer Services Department on 0635 521 313. Right then, what are the main sections of the tape? Well, this introduction is part 1. We've already heard the first audio tone for this part by way of an example. A little later you will hear the second audio tone, which announces Part 2, Safety Advice and General Operating Information. As the title suggests, this part deals with the important safety information and provides general advice on the correct operation of the appliance. Part 3, Getting to Know Your Machine, starts with a quick tour of the machine controls. This is followed by a more in-depth explanation of the fascia panel, detergent drawer, the functions of the control switches and program dials, and so on. Part 4, Program Descriptions and Temperatures, explains how to program the machine's wash cycles. Advice is also offered on how to get the best results from your new appliance and includes a wash temperature guide. Part 5 is the part you've been waiting for, your first wash. As the title suggests, this section provides a step-by-step guide of how to successfully complete the first programmed wash in your new machine. The Zanussi FL1083 washing machine has been designed to provide you with years of trouble-free service. One of the best ways to ensure that it does just that is to care for your machine and keep it clean. Part 6, Caring for your machine, therefore, gives practical advice and information on how best to clean and maintain your machine. Part 7, Troubleshooting and Customer Care, deals with several topics, the first of which is troubleshooting and problem solving, by way of a list of simple checks that you can make should you suspect that your appliance is malfunctioning. Also included in this part is further information on Zanussi after-sales service and a recap of how you can obtain the large print or Braille programming guide and Selector dial overlay kit. Well, that's all later on in the tape, but for now, let's move on to Part 2. Part 2, Safety Advice and General Operating Information. The warnings included within this section have been provided in the interest of safety. You must either read or listen to them carefully before installing or using the appliance. It is most important that the appliance is installed by a suitably qualified person. This applies to all electrical and plumbing work that may be necessary to install the appliance. Make certain that both the original instruction book and this cassette tape is retained with the appliance for future reference. Should the appliance be sold or transferred to another owner, or if you move house and leave the appliance, always ensure that the instruction book and the cassette tape remain with the appliance for the new owner's use. This appliance is designed to be operated by adults. Children should not be allowed to tamper with the controls or play with the appliance. It is dangerous to alter the specifications or attempt to modify this appliance in any way. The appliance should be serviced by an authorised Zanussi service centre, and only genuine Zanussi spare parts should be used. Care must be taken to ensure that the appliance does not stand on the electrical supply cable. It is important not to overload the appliance. At the end of the wash cycle, the appliance will emit 3 audible bleeps for 2 seconds on and 2 seconds off. To avoid a water spillage, do not attempt to open the porthole door until you've heard the 3 sets of bleeps. The porthole door is controlled by a safety device. This releases the door lock 2 minutes after the end of the programme. If after a period of 2 minutes you are unable to open the door, this indicates that water remains in the drum, and you must select the drain programme M to empty the drum. This is referred to later on within the tape. Now, this appliance is very heavy. You should take great care when attempting to move it. The installer of the appliance must ensure that all packing and transit bolts have been removed before use. Serious damage can occur to the product and to property if this instruction is not adhered to. Please ensure that the installer has read the relevant section within the printed instructions supplied with the appliance. Leave the porthole door slightly ajar between washes. This will help prevent stale odours and will preserve the door seal. The porthole door becomes very hot during the wash cycle. Keep children away from the appliance whilst it's in operation. Pets and children have been known to climb into washing machines, so please check your drum before use. Only wash fabrics which are designed to be machine washed. An indication of the type of fabric and the recommended type of wash can be found on the care label attached to the garment. If in doubt, check with the manufacturer of the garment. Before washing, ensure that all pockets are empty and buttons and zips are fastened. Avoid washing frayed or torn articles. Treat stains such as paint, ink, rust and grass before washing. Underwired bras must not be machine washed. Any objects such as coins, safety pins, nails, screws, stones, or any other hard, sharp material can cause extensive damage and must not be placed in the appliance. Garments which have been in contact with volatile petroleum products should not be machine washed. If volatile cleaning fluids are used, remove the fluid from the garment before placing it in the appliance. Wash small items such as socks, laces, washable belts, etc. in a washing bag or a pillowcase, as it's possible for such small items to slip down between the tub and the inner drum. Only use the prescribed quantities of fabric softener. Damage to the fabric can occur if you overfill. Refer to the manufacturer's recommendations of quantities. Some duvets and eiderdown should be washed in large commercial machines because of their bulk. Check with the manufacturer of any such item before washing in your domestic appliance. Check that no gas lighters, disposable or otherwise, have been left in the clothing to be washed. If the appliance is situated on a carpeted floor, ask the installer to adjust the feet in order to allow air to circulate freely under the appliance. It is most important that you must never overload the machine. An overloaded machine may affect the reliability of the machine and will also result in an inferior quality wash. It is essential to wash new coloured items separately the first time that you wash them, as they may not be colour fast. White items must always be washed separately to coloured items. After using your machine, it's recommended that you should unplug it from the mains and turn the water taps off. Under no circumstances should you attempt to repair the appliance yourself. Repairs carried out by inexperienced persons may cause injury or serious malfunction. Contact your local Zanussi service centre and always insist on genuine Zanussi spare parts. Well, that's the end of part 2. Due to the wide range of topics covered in this section, you may find it useful to rewind the tape and recap the information given before moving on to part 3. Part 3. Getting to know your machine. Before we explain in detail the features of the appliance and the functions of its various controls, let us first of all make sure that we know exactly where they are situated on the machine. For this exercise, and as an added safety precaution, make sure that you have removed the plug from the main socket. Now, standing directly in front of the machine, place your hand on the machine's top left-hand corner. Lower your hand a couple of inches and you'll find a plastic drawer cover. This is the detergent dispenser drawer. On the front of the drawer is a fluted, recessed finger grip for easy withdrawal of the drawer. Place your fingers underneath the grip and gently pull the drawer outwards towards you until it stops. Now, inside the drawer are 3 compartments. A full explanation of the use of the compartment is given a little later on in the tape, but for now, push the drawer back into the machine. Now, slightly to the right of the detergent dispenser drawer, you will find a set of 3 rectangular-shaped switches. On the front of each switch, there is a raised button. Now, starting from the left-hand button switch, this is the on-off button. As the machine is unplugged from the mains, you will not damage the machine if you want to try the action of the 3 switches as we talk about them. Push the on-off button inwards. In this position, the machine is switched on and would normally start operating. Press the switch once more to the off position and the machine stops. The centre button switch is the half-load button. When this is pressed in, the half-load instruction is given to the machine. Press it again and it returns to its normal position. The last of the 3 button switches is the pre-wash button. When you press this button inwards, the pre-wash instruction is selected. Press the button again and the pre-wash is disengaged. It's as simple as that. Slightly to the right of the pre-wash button is a large circular dial. Now this is the wash program selector. In the centre of the dial, there is a raised finger grip. Just above the dial is a small raised dot fixed to the front panel of the machine. The various wash programs are indicated by a series of letters, which are set around the circumference of the dial. With the finger grip in a vertical position and with the raised centre at the top, the letter N should be at the top of the dial. N is the program cancel and rest position. The program selector dial can be set by turning it either clockwise or anti-clockwise. When you turn the dial, you will find that, unlike other washing machines, there is only one positive click in between each of the various programs. With N at the top, turn the selector clockwise one click. The machine is now set to program A. Continuing to turn the knob clockwise, the next program is B, followed by C, D, F, G, H, L, M, and finally back to N. Full details of all the program functions are given later in the tape. Slightly to the right of the program selector dial, you will find a small rectangular protrusion. This is a neon pilot light which illuminates when the machine is switched on. To the right of the pilot light is another dial. This is the program progress dial. Just above the dial is an indicator dot fixed to the front panel of the machine. At the 12 o'clock position on the face of the dial, there is a similar indicator dot. At the 2 o'clock position on the dial is an indicator dash. A full explanation of how to use the program progress dial is provided a little later on in the tape. About halfway down on the machine front panel, you will find the large wash porthole door. On the right-hand side of the porthole is the door catch. To open the porthole, gently pull the catch towards you. Set around the inner porthole aperture is a rubberized watertight door seal. Close the porthole by pushing it gently but firmly until you hear the door catch click. Details of the special automatic locking mechanism controlling the catch are given a little later on. Towards the bottom right-hand corner of the front panel is a metal cover which is approximately 4 inches square. This is the access cover to the water drain filter. To open the cover, you simply push the lower edge of the cover inwards. With your other hand, pull the cover down. Inside the filter access cover, there is a round plastic cap. Now, this is the filter cap. Information of how to clean the filter is provided later within the taped instructions, but for now, close the filter cover by lifting and pushing the open edge of the cover back into place. That completes our quick tour of the machine controls. Let's now take a closer look at the operation and use of the controls and devices in greater detail. First of all, plug the machine into the main socket. Next, place your fingers underneath the fluted finger grip on the front of the detergent dispenser drawer. Gently pull the drawer towards you. Inside the open drawer, there are 3 compartments. From the left-hand side of the drawer, the first compartment is the pre-wash detergent dispenser and is where you place detergent for a pre-wash program. A pre-wash would normally be selected if you had garments that are heavily soiled or stained. The next compartment along is the main wash detergent dispenser. This is likely to be the most frequently used compartment. The last and smallest compartment is designed to dispense fabric softener liquid. The softener compartment is divided into 2 sections. However, at this stage, we are only concerned with the section nearest the front of the drawer, which has a rectangular shaped recess and a small raised flower motif moulded by the side of it. As with most modern-day liquid or powder detergents, fabric softeners are normally supplied with their own special measures. This is usually incorporated into the cap of the bottle, or in the case of a powder detergent, may be either the form of a measuring cup or powder scoop. When dispensing detergent or liquid softener into the compartments, care must be taken so you don't overfill the compartments, as a spillage could occur when the drawer is being closed. From time to time, the detergent drawer and its compartments will need to be cleaned. This operation, however, is covered later on in part 6 of the tape, so for now, close the detergent drawer. Let's move on to explain a little more about the operation of the 3 button switches and the control dials. Slightly to the right of the detergent drawer is the bank of 3 rectangular button switches which we mentioned earlier. The first button switch is the machine on and off button. The machine will not function unless the on-off button is pressed into the on position and the small neon indicator light is lit. At the end of the wash program, the button should be pressed again into the off position. The neon indicator light will then extinguish. The next button switch is the half-load selector button. When the half-load button is selected, it reduces the program time and the water consumption. This is particularly useful for washing smaller loads of cottons or linens up to 2¼ kilograms in total weight. The half-load button only operates with wash programs A, B or C. The last of the three button switches is the pre-wash selector button. By pressing this button before selecting either wash programs A or D, the machine will carry out a pre-wash at a low temperature. A pre-wash is normally required if you have to wash articles that are heavily soiled or stained. The pre-wash option cannot be used in conjunction with the half-load button. To the right of the pre-wash button is a large circular dial. This is the wash program selector. In the centre of the selector dial there is a raised finger grip. On the upper front face of the grip is a raised vertical indicator. To set a wash program, turn the selector dial until the program letter is at the top of the dial and directly underneath the indicator dot. When the machine is switched on and is conducting a wash program, should you wish to cancel the selected program, turn the program selector dial until the letter N is at the top of the dial. You will now hear a bleep signal. This indicates that the original program is in the process of being cancelled. Immediately after the bleep, you will hear a clicking sound. The clicking sound is caused by the wash cycle progress dial, which turns and resets the machine. When the clicking stops, you will hear 3 short bleeps indicating that you can now reselect your new wash program. Should the machine fail to start after selecting a program, turn the dial until the letter N is at the top of the dial and underneath the indicator dot. This cancels the original setting. After the machine has undertaken its automatic program cancelling procedure previously mentioned, you will hear 3 bleeps, after which you may reselect your program again. When your selected program has completed, or you wish to stop the machine during the programmed wash, turn the selector dial until N is at the top of the dial. This again will cancel the program and the machine will stop. The neon indicator light, which is next to the program selector, is operated by the on-off switch and will glow when the machine is switched on. The neon will extinguish when the on-off switch is switched to the off position. To the right of the program selector dial is another circular dial of around the same dimensions. This is the wash cycle progress dial. The raised dot at the top of the dial indicates the progress of your selected program wash. Above the dial, there is another indicator dot which is fixed to the front panel of the machine. When the indicator dot on the dial is in line with the dot on the washing machine's front panel, this indicates that the wash program has completed. Slightly to the right of the indicator dot on the dial, at the 2 o'clock position, there is a small raised dash. When the machine stops with the dash position corresponding with the indicator dot on the machine's front panel, this indicates that the program you have selected has left water in the drum. To remove the water, select the drain setting M. The water will now be drained from the machine, after which the indicator dot on the dial and the dot on the front panel will once more be aligned. That completes this part of the tape. Let us now move on to part 4. Part 4. Program Descriptions and Temperatures. This part of the tape describes the various wash programs available. There are 2 wash listings, each of which deals with different types of fabric. The first listing is for cotton and linen materials, while the second is for synthetics, delicates and wool. Each description indicates the type of washing, the degree of soil, and gives advice on which of the detergent compartments you should use in the recommended wash program. The first program descriptions are for cotton and linen items with a maximum recommended wash load of 4.5 kilograms. Remember, with the finger grip in a vertical position and the raised centre at the top, program N should be at the top of the dial. Cottons with a pre-wash, heavy degree of soil. Place detergent both in the pre-wash and the main wash detergent compartments. Softener may be placed in the softener compartment. Set the selector dial to A and press the pre-wash button switch. This program conducts a pre-wash at 40 degrees, after which the main wash commences at 95 degrees. After the main wash, the laundry progresses through a series of rinses and a spin cycle. No water is left in the drum at the end of the program. Cottons without a pre-wash, normal degree of soil. Detergent should be placed in the main wash compartment only. If required, softener can be placed in the softener compartment. Set the program dial to the letter A. The main wash will then run at a temperature of 95 degrees. The program will then conduct both a series of rinses and a spin cycle. No water will remain in the drum when the program finishes. Colour fast articles, normal degree of soil. Place detergent in the main wash detergent compartment and, if required, softener in the softener compartment. Select program B. The main wash will then take place at a temperature of 60 degrees, after which a series of rinses and also a spin cycle will take place. Again, no water will be left in the drum at the end of the program. Delicate coloured cottons, normal degree of soil. Place detergent in the main wash detergent compartment and, if needed, softener in the softener compartment. Set the selector dial to the letter C. A main wash will now take place at the lower temperature of 40 degrees. The laundry will then go through a series of rinses, after which the spin cycle will take place. No water will be left in the drum at the end of the program. Remember, should you wish to cancel any set program, simply turn the program selector dial until the letter N is at the 12 o'clock position and in line with the indicator dot on the machine's front panel. The machine will now conduct the program cancelling procedure that has been previously described during part 3 of the tape. Now on to the second of the program listings. These are for a maximum load of 2 kilograms when washing synthetics, or a maximum load of 1 kilogram when washing woolen items. Synthetics with a pre-wash. Normal degree of soil. Place the detergent in both the pre-wash and the main wash compartments. If required, place softener in the softener compartment. The program dial should be set to D and the pre-wash switch activated. This program conducts a pre-wash at 40 degrees centigrade. The main wash then commences at a temperature of 60 degrees. The program rinses the washing and stops with water left in the drum. Select the letter M to drain the water from the drum. Synthetics without a pre-wash, normal degree of soil. Place detergent in the main wash detergent compartment only. Softener, if required, should be placed in the softener compartment. The program dial should be set to D. This program will conduct a main wash at 60 degrees. After the wash, the machine will stop with water left in the drum. You should now select M to drain the water from the drum. Colour fast articles. Normal degree of soil. The detergent should be placed in the main wash detergent compartment only. Softener can be added to the softener compartment if required. Select letter F. This program conducts a wash at the lower temperature of 40 degrees. The washing is then rinsed, but at the end of the wash, water will remain in the drum. To remove the water, select program letter M. Delicates, cold washing, light degree of soil. Detergent should be placed in the main wash detergent compartment. Softener can, if required, be placed in the softener compartment. Set the program to the letter G. This will conduct a wash in cold water. The machine then rinses the wash and stops with water left in the drum. Select M to remove the water. Wool and delicates, normal type of soil. Place the detergent in the main wash compartment. Softener can be added in the softener compartment. The program selector should now be set to H, which should instruct the machine to conduct a wash at 40 degrees. The machine will now rinse and then finish with a short spin. Only woolen articles which are marked pure new wool, washable, pre-shrunk, should be washed in the machine. When washing net curtains, it is important to avoid an excessive and damaging amount of lather. It is advisable to wash large curtains singularly and take care when measuring the amount of detergent to be used. The reason that certain wash programs end with water remaining in the drum is to ensure that delicate garments do not crease. If required, it is possible to set the machine to provide a spin only. This is achieved by simply setting the selector dial to the letter L, and the machine will then carry out a long spin at 1000 RPM. Remember, should you need to cancel any program that you've selected, you must set the selector dial to the letter N, that is the program cancel and dial rest position. If after the standard 2 minutes lock time you are still unable to open the porthole door, you may find that the small indicator dash on the wash cycle phase dial will be in line with the indicator dot on the front panel. This may indicate that water has remained in the wash drum. To remove the water, select the drain position M. When the water has drained, the indicator dash will move to the 2 o'clock position and the 2 indicator dots will once more be aligned. After 2 minutes, the porthole door lock will release and you should be able to open the porthole door. That concludes the program description, so let us swiftly move on to part 5, your first wash. During this part, we're going to take you through a step-by-step programmed wash. The program we have chosen as an example is for a maximum load of 4.5 kilograms of white cotton, which we will wash at a temperature of 95 degrees. In order to illustrate as many of the machine's features as possible during the example wash, the program assumes that the articles to be washed are heavily soiled and will also require a pre-wash to take place. If you intend to follow the tape as you are conducting the wash, it would be best to stop the tape now to allow you time to sort your laundry ready for washing. Stop the tape now. Part 5, your first wash. Now you have sorted your white cotton articles for washing, and having checked that their total weight is not over 4.5 kilograms, we can proceed with the wash. First of all, check that the machine is plugged into the main socket. Now open the porthole door by gently pulling the catch outwards. Load the articles to be washed into the wash drum, making sure that you load them one at a time. When loaded, close the porthole door by pushing it back into the appliance until you hear the door catch click into place. The next step is to place detergent into the dispenser drawer. Open the dispenser drawer by placing your fingers under the fluted finger grip on the front of the drawer and gently pull the drawer outwards until it stops. Next, pour your detergent into the detergent measure. As the example wash we have chosen includes a pre-wash, pour the detergent from the measure into the pre-wash dispenser compartment. Now repeat the process of pouring detergent into the measure and place this detergent into the main wash dispenser compartment. If you wish to use a fabric softener, simply measure the amount of your softener recommended into the cap of the softener bottle. Pour the liquid carefully into the softener dispenser compartment. Now close the detergent dispenser drawer by gently pushing the front of the drawer back into the appliance. The next step is to engage the pre-wash button. This is the last in the bank of 3 button switches positioned to the right of the dispenser drawer. To select the pre-wash instructions, simply press the button inwards. Now you have to set the required wash program. To do this, simply turn the program selector dial, which is positioned slightly to the right of the 3 button switches, to the required program letter, which in the case of this example wash is letter A. Turn the selector dial by the centre finger grip until the letter A is at the top of the dial and directly underneath the indicator dot on the front panel. Finally, just check that both the detergent dispenser drawer and the wash porthole door have been properly closed. OK, now we can start the machine by pressing the on-off button, which is the first button in the bank of 3 button switches to the left of the program selector dial. When you press the on button, the small indicator light will illuminate and the machine will start to intake water for the programmed wash. That's all there is to it. Simple, isn't it? The wash program that you have selected will first of all conduct a pre-wash at 40 degrees. This will be followed automatically by the main wash program at 95 degrees. After the main wash has taken place, the laundry will be given a series of rinses and finally a spin cycle, which will remove most of the remaining water from the washing. Remember, the machine progress through the program is indicated by the position of the 2 indicator dots on the wash cycle progress dial. The best thing to do now is to stop the tape until the program has completed and the machine has stopped, at which time you will hear 3 audible bleeps. You will also find that the 2 dots on the wash cycle progress dial will be aligned. When you switch the tape back on again, we will explain how to remove your washed laundry. Stop the tape now. Welcome back. If the machine has stopped and has emitted the 3 audible bleeps, and the dot on the wash cycle progress dial is in line with the dot on the front panel, this indicates that the program has completed and you can now remove your washing. As we have previously discussed, the porthole door is controlled by a special safety device which releases the door locking mechanism 2 minutes after the completion of the wash program. When the machine has stopped, and after waiting the full 2 minutes lock time, open the porthole door by pulling the catch outwards and remove your completed laundry. The next step is to switch the machine off by pressing the on-off button, which will also extinguish the indicator light. Finally, it is advisable where possible to unplug the machine and turn the water taps on. If, on future wash occasions, you are unable to open the porthole door, this indicates that water remains in the drum. When this happens, the indicator dash on the wash cycle progress dial will be vertical and in line with the indicator dot on the front panel. To remove the water, turn the program selector dial until N is at the top of the dial and in line with the indicator dot on the front panel of the machine. The water will now drain from the drum. When the water has drained, you should then set the program selector dial so that the letter N is in line with the indicator dot on the front panel. You will now hear an audible bleep, which is followed by the clicking sound of the wash cycle progress dial as it resets the machine. When the clicking stops, you will hear 3 short bleeps, and you will find that the dot on the wash cycle progress dial is in line with the dot on the front panel of the machine. After waiting the normal 2 minutes lock time, you will then be able to open the porthole door and remove your laundry. Congratulations, you have completed the first wash in your new machine. Now let's move on to part 6. Part 6. Caring for your machine. As we've said before, your Zanussi washing machine has been designed to provide you with many years of trouble-free service. However, the user can help ensure the machine's long life by providing care in use and regular cleaning. This part of the tape is concerned with basic maintenance and recommended periodic cleaning. Owners are strongly advised not to attempt any specialised maintenance or repairs to any appliance. Should the appliance require repair or maintenance, you should contact an authorised Zanussi service centre. If you're in any doubt, telephone the Zanussi Customer Service Department on 0635 521 313. First of all, a word about descaling. The water we normally use contains lime. It's a good idea, therefore, to periodically use a water softening powder to descale the machine. This must be done separately from any laundry washing, and you should always follow the powder manufacturer's instructions when you're undertaking this task. After you've completed your wash, it is recommended that you should leave the porthole door slightly open. This will help prevent mould and stagnant smells from forming inside the appliance and will also help preserve the rubber door seal. When cleaning the exterior cabinet of your appliance, use a mixture of soft soap and water only. The use of cleaners containing abrasives is not recommended, as they may scratch the surface of the cabinet. After cleaning, wipe the surface dry with a soft cloth. From time to time, the detergent and softener dispenser drawer should be removed and cleaned. To remove the drawer, place your fingers under the fluted finger grip and gently pull the drawer outwards. The drawer is fitted with a drawer stop, which normally prevents it from being removed while the appliance is in normal use. To release the drawer stop, place your finger in the far end of the pre-wash dispenser, where you will find a drawer catch release tab. Gently press the release tab downwards, and with your other hand, pull and withdraw the drawer from the appliance. When removed from the machine, you will find that the softener compartment has a finger hole cut out at the far end of the cover plate. Place your finger inside the hole and pull the cover plate from the compartment. Clean the dispenser compartments of any traces of accumulated detergent and softener by rinsing the drawer and softener compartment under a running tap. After cleaning, wipe the drawer dry with a soft cloth. While the drawer is removed from the appliance, clean the inner drawer recess inside the machine with a small brush or an old toothbrush. With care, you should now be able to clean all detergent residue from both the upper and lower part of the drawer recess. To replace the detergent drawer, simply reverse the procedure you use for removing it. First of all, refit the softener dispenser cover plate. Next, offer the drawer up to the dispenser drawer recess in the appliance and gently push the drawer fully back home. The final item that requires regular cleaning is the water drain filter. A clean filter is very important for the correct functioning of the appliance and should be cleaned frequently. When the appliance is in use, or you have just completed a wash program, a residue of hot water may remain inside the filter unit. Never remove the filter during a wash cycle, and always wait for the machine to cool down before removing the filter. The water drain filter is situated on the bottom right-hand side of the machine front panel. To remove the filter, first of all, open the filter cover by pushing the bottom of the cover inwards and at the same time pulling down the top edge of the cover. The cover cannot be removed completely from the appliance and will lie flat in front of the machine. Next, place a container such as a shallow bowl or an old meat tray under the open access cover to catch any water that may spill out when you remove the filter. Inside the filter cover, there is a large plastic cap. To withdraw the filter, unscrew the cap by turning the finger grip anti-clockwise. Withdraw the filter from the machine and drain any excess water into the bowl. Clean the filter of any debris by placing it under a fast-running tap. When clean, refit the filter back into the machine and turn the plastic filter cap clockwise. Make certain that you securely retighten the cap so as to avoid any possible leaks and also to stop young children from being able to remove it. Finally, close the filter access cover by lifting it upwards and gently pushing back into the machine front panel. That brings us to the end of part 6, so let us now move to the final part of the tape. Part 7. Troubleshooting checklist, large print and Braille program guide, and how to contact Zanussi Customer Services Department. If you believe that your machine is not functioning as it should, this simple troubleshooting checklist will help you decide if you need to contact a Zanussi service centre or if the problem is due to an operator error. Each fault is followed by a short list of possible causes. Fault. The machine does not start up. 1. Check that the machine is plugged in. 2. Check that the on-off button is in the on position. 3. Check that the porthole door is properly closed. 4. Check that water is entering the machine. Fault. The machine does not fill with water. 1. Check that the inlet taps are turned on. 2. Check that the water supply has not been disconnected. 3. Check that the water inlet hoses are not kinked. 4. Is the water pressure too low? Fault. The machine does not drain or spin. 1. You have selected a delicate or synthetics wash cycle. 2. Check that the water drain filter is not clogged. 3. Check that the drain hose is not kinked. 4. The drainage system pipes could be clogged. Fault. The machine leaks or overflows. 1. You have used too much detergent. 2. Have you used an unsuitable detergent? 3. Check that the inlet hose is not loose. 4. The detergent dispenser drawer or its recess is clogged. 5. The end of the drain hose is not securely positioned. Fault. The machine vibrates or is noisy. 1. Has all the internal packing been removed? 2. The machine is not level. 3. The machine is in contact with the wall or furniture. 4. The washing load could be badly distributed in the tub. 5. Check that the machine is not overloaded. Fault. The porthole door will not open. 1. The safety device has locked it. 2. Water remains in the tub. Selector drain program. If after carrying out all the recommended checks your machine still appears to malfunction, you should contact your local Zanussi service centre, the telephone number of which can be found in your local directory under the letter Z. British Telecom Directory Service will also be able to provide you with the telephone number of the local Zanussi service centre. Alternatively, you may contact the Zanussi Customer Service Department on 0635 521 313. When contacting either your local Zanussi Service Centre or the Zanussi Customer Service Department, make certain that you give the model number and if possible the serial number of the appliance. The model number of this appliance is Zanussi FL1083 Amie washing machine. Just before this taped introduction to your Zanussi washing machine comes to an end, let me remind you of the special items available from Zanussi for those who have a visual handicap or who are blind. Should you have a visual handicap of some kind and find it difficult to read the program selection guide for your machine, Zanussi have developed a special large print program guide. To obtain a copy of this large print program guide, simply telephone the Zanussi Customer Service Department on 0635 521 313 and we will send you one by return of post. Zanussi have also developed a Braille program guide and a special dial overlay which fits directly over the program selector dial. If you are blind and would like one of these Braille kits for your machine, just telephone the Zanussi Customer Service Department. Remember the number? Telephone 0635 521 313 and ask for Zanussi Customer Service Department. Zanussi hope you found this taped introduction to using your new washing machine to be helpful and instructive. May I, on behalf of Zanussi Limited, wish you many years of reliable, trouble-free service from your new Zanussi machine. Goodbye.